Little and on 88 to 91 FM. On BBC Radio 2.
I'm so alone, my love, without you. You're part of everything I do. When you come back and you're beside me, these are the words I'll sing to you. I thought of all the things I'll say to you when you come back to me someday. When you are here and we're together, with all my heart you'll hear me say, so many lonely people. Why must they ever be apart? I hope someday you'll be together, singing these words with all your heart.
Well, I haven't heard that since Arvina had her own teeth. Hello, folks, it's Paulo Grady. Yes, I'm back. Back live, broadcasting live to the nation from a very damp and sodden London here this afternoon. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Jodie Prenger for sitting in for me. Thanks for that, Jodie, if you're listening, because I went away, in case you didn't know, for a 5-day break and ended up stranded and trapped on an island called Manhattan for 2 weeks, which actually wasn't a bad thing. It was quite nice. It was all right for me, though. I was in a flat, so it wasn't costing me anything, but I felt sorry for people who were on a budget and were stranded. And I'd just like to say hello to the 28 schoolgirls I met in Times Square and their 2 teachers. I can't remember the name of the school because it was all a bit of a panic. And they were panicking because they were stranded. What are we going to do, they said. I said, girls, you must remember the school's reputation. Always wear hats and gloves and don't talk to strange men. Unless they're attractive, of course, and that is different. All right then, folks, what have we got for you? We've got your triple. Oh, no, we've got the thank yous. We've got the triples. We've got the cocktail hour. We've got some great music. We've got music from Frankie Valli, Brooke Benton, and that loose woman herself, Miss Jane MacDonald. But first, Malcolm says that this song is especially for me. Go on then, Malcolm, hit it.
ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how it must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back. Welcome back. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 Welcome back.
Thank you for that, Malcolm. That's paying me up no end. That was Welcome Back, in case you didn't get the drift. And that was John Sebastian. And he recorded that in 1976. And Malcolm tells me he wrote it too. He must have been up all night thinking, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. What rhymes with back? Sack, mac. Anyway, there we go. Right, it is good to be back, though, I have to say. I mean, that volcano, Iceland's a very popular place, isn't it? First of all, they sent us Bjork. And then they brought the world economy to their knees, and now they give us a volcano. And I thought, well, if I can't get home by plane, I'll have to go on a boat. Maybe there's some old cargo boat I can go over on, wait me passage, you know, swabbing the decks. Or the Queen Mary, I heard, was leaving on the Thursday, and I thought, well, get myself on that, do a bit of a spot, you know. I don't mind as long as I get home. And then I twigged with my luck, probably the volcano would have loosened an iceberg or something, and it had floated into the Atlantic, and we'd have crashed into it. And just as I was drowning, I'd have seen Queen Mary peel off, and it had said underneath, Titanic. I know the score. Right, time now for some of your messages. Please keep them coming. You can write to me with a stamp, and the address is Paul O'Grady. Don't send me a stamp. But, you know, you stick a stamp on your envelope. I just thought I'd explain that, because if I was listening to this, I'd have sent a stamp. I'd have thought, poor thing, yeah, hasn't got any stamps. We'll send him a couple. Anyway, the address is Paul O'Grady, BBC Radio 2, London W1A1AA, or you can email me if you're modern, Paul O'Grady, all one word, at bbc.co.uk. And we may not be able to include everything on the programme, but we sit up all night with a candle and read the lot, so as not to waste murderously expensive electricity on the licence payers' fees. Right. So you're back, are you? We all know your delayed return caused by the volcanic ash was just a ruse. I knew somebody'd say this. Jodie sussed you out last week, did she? But she's getting a slap. You just extended your break in that quaint little fishing village with the picturesque quayside and rows of brightly coloured houses by the harbour. Yes, we saw you in Birkenhead last Sunday, sunning yourself with Elsie and Stan. Hope you had a lovely time. Welcome back, Paul. We've missed you. And there's some Jane Hill in Barnstable. Wasn't in Birkenhead last Sunday, Jane. That was me stuntman, you saw. And that certainly wasn't Elsie and Stan, because she split up with Stan. And Elsie at the moment, well, I'll tell you the story. She's not on the show today, because yesterday was May Day, which in if you're a pagan, is Beltane. Elsie's a bit of a pagan. And she celebrated with the mead. And she's had a little peep in her mouse hole before. And she's unconscious in her bed. And there's a little sign at the bottom of the bed saying, do not resuscitate, which I take to mean she's in a bad way. So I'm going to leave her today, else. There's me. Malcolm thinks she's given up the booze. Met a nice fella, put her on the straight and narrow. No more dodging mouse traps for fun. You know what I mean? Dear Paul, it is Maria from St Helens here. Hello, Maria from St Helens. The other night I went to see a tribute band to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons called Let's Hang On. The lead singer gave you a shout-out and asked if he was in the famous Paulo Grady territory. I put him right after the show about the geography of Birkenhead and St Helens. Oh, I bet he loved you after the show, being lectured about the geographics of the Wirral. Just to say that the band were absolutely brilliant and gave a great show to what was not a large audience. Nevertheless, they were all dancing in the aisles at the end. I've never seen such a hard-working and brilliant lead singer, and for anybody who cannot afford to go and see Jersey Boys in the West End in London, do go and see them. They're called Let's Hang On, and that's from Maria. Thanks for that, Maria. And we're going to play the real Four Seasons in a minute, OK? Dear Paul, and welcome back, here we go again, from yet another holiday misadventure. In the unlikely event you ever ask me to join you on one of your future vacations, I'm sure you'll understand if I politely decline your invitation. Yeah, you're not the only one. Nobody will go away with me anymore. After all, when you went to Venice, you were attacked by killer mosquitoes. In Miami, you were strip-searched and put into a cell for hours. Just hang on a minute now. I wasn't strip-searched. And I wasn't put in a cell. I wasn't touched with a rubber glove. Believe you me, I wouldn't let them near me. I was sat in a room and questioned and accused of being a Cuban immigrant. And let's not forget Peru, when I got altitude sickness. And let's not forget the Trans-Siberian Express. Me and Vera suffering from alcohol poisoning after 2 weeks with no food. And what else has happened to me? Oh, Barbados bust me nose. Oh, yes. Do come away with me for a holiday. You're guaranteed to get your insurance. Anyway, I wonder if you remember a lost shop in Daub Hill, near Bolton, that used to be across Great Moor Street from the Wheat Chief. It was Ellison's, the carpet shop. I hear it was there in the early 20s. Did you ever frequent it? Lovely to have you back, Cynthia of Bolton. Right, Cynthia of Bolton. As soon as I leave the studio, I'm getting a train up there. And I'm going to stand out your window. I'm moony. Dear Paul, we love your show and listen every week. And on May the 2nd, we'll be travelling home to Nottingham after a weekend in sunny Skegness. Sunny? What's one of those things? Seeing a tribute to ABBA and the Bee Gees. Let's hear a cheer for tribute bands. They're great. Would you please, please, please say hi to us? That's Caroline and Sergio. Sergio has never heard his name on the wireless before, and so he'll be shocked. Let's hope Sergio's not driving then, eh? As I read his name out, and you're now facing the hard shoulder. 100 mile an hour. There you go, and that's from Caroline. Thanks for that, Caroline. Please keep your emails and letters coming. And we've got more messages later on. Right, here's a new one now, and it's from Jodie, and it's an old one from Glenn. Hang on a minute, Malcolm, you're confusing me here. You know I'm on medication. Glenn Miller's gone. Years ago in a plane crash with Buddy Holly and Patsy. I've not got over it, Malcolm. And you've dragged it up again, haven't you, that old wound? So Jodie Prench and Glenn Miller together. Would you play it? I'll just sit back here and drink this muck lukewarm tea. Glenn Miller, yes, and his orchestra with In the Mood. Do you know, I never knew Jodie was that old. I mean, I knew I'd heard the rumours. She had, like, you know, bulldog clip in the back of her neck, but I had no idea. She was... Isn't that fabulous, that? What a cracking track. She's got a great voice, that girl, and lovely with it. Right, and it's from a new CD called The Very Best of Glenn Miller, and it's out on May the 31st, and it features remastered versions of the Glenn Miller sound, and Jodie's doing a couple of tracks on it, isn't she? Good for her. OK, let's have some more of your messages, shall we? I ain't reading the email address out, I can't be bothered. Dear Paul, Elsie and Malcolm, Elsie's a disgrace, and he's not doing any better either after that dance. Fancy wearing flip-flops for a jitterbug, honestly. It's Pamela, formerly of High Wycombe. I was listening a few weeks back and I heard someone ask if you'd heard from me. Please accept my apology. Oh, this is this lady with the waist in France, isn't it? Please accept... Oh, pin your ears back, girls. You're going to love this. Please accept my apologies for not being a good correspondent. It's Pascal, you see. Go on, tell us. You may recall I left my errant husband after I discovered his philandering. Good for you. I came to France, met a younger man called Pascal, and my life changed. A real Shirley Valentine is how my dear neighbour Anne called me as I packed my bags and left for this side of the channel from where I'm emailing you today. Pascal is a good 20 years younger. Good for you, Gail. And what we lack in shared cultural references, we make up for elsewhere. OK, don't need any more of that. I'm still working in the restaurants of the little hotel in the south of France, not too far from Cannes. Trade is picking up. I bet it is. As the sun stays longer in the sky now. And my life is so much happier. So should anyone be wondering if it's too late for change, my advice would be a resounding no. Get out there and enjoy yourself. Much love from Pamela and Pascal. Now, lovely that, eh? I'm glad she had a happy ending, that lady, because he was right. I mean, he was. I'd never knew the man, Malcolm, but to carry on. I mean, she sent us things I wouldn't dare to read out on the wireless. It killed my ear. I really did. Dear Paul, I've been meaning to write to you ever since you first came on the radio, and when I found out you've been on a year, I knew I really must write and tell you what a wonderful programme you have. Thank you very much. Until recently, I had to have you on loud in the dining room while I was in the kitchen cooking Sunday dinner. Why? Oh, she's going to explain now. But now I can have you all to myself in the kitchen as we have bought a new DAB. What's a DAB? Digital radio. Why is it called a DAB? Well, it should be called a DAB. Oh, it is a DAB, sorry, it's these varifocals. Anyway, she's got a DAB in her radio in her back kitchen. She's got a DAB radio CD player. Whoa, somebody's been busy with the catalogue. And she's got, that's in the dining room, and she's got the old one in the kitchen. Did you ever watch Band of Brothers on TV? We found the theme music very stirring, but I can't find it anywhere. Could you please play it sometime? Of course we will. Malcolm will have a look, won't you, Malcolm? What was it called again? The Band of Brothers. Also, we live over the river from Saltaire. You should see what a wonderful job has been done on restoring Roberts Park back to its former glory. Hope you keep on for many years to come, and that's from Beryl Clark in West Yorkshire. How lovely. I used to live in Saltaire. Really beautiful, sort of Victorian village built by Titus Salt for the workers of his factory. And all those lovely, sort of like you'd see in A Taste of Honey. You know, you can imagine Dora Bryan legging it down the street in a plastic Mac with a bird cage on the cobbles in 4-inch white stilettos, dodging the rent again. Such a lovely village. Oh, that's lovely, that. Thanks for that. And I'm delighted to hear that they've done the park up. This is a cracking park. Hello, Paul. Welcome back. I was beginning to worry you'd never get back. Jodie is a wonderful stand-in, though, and she looked after things well. Good. She had a few lost pubs, plenty of thank you messages, and the occasional lost shop. And just as you predicted, Jodie cried when it was time to read out the dead pets. She's got a bladder too near her eyeballs, that girl. She really has. She gave us some wonderful triples too, and even had a cocktail hour track as well. Oh yes, Jodie was very faithful to your show. I've only one small criticism. Oh, I knew it was too good to be true. I knew they'd start striking. Go on then. Jodie obviously can't talk mouse like you can, because we didn't hear about Elsie and Stan once. Hopefully you'll be able to rectify this soon. Please don't go away again too soon. Thanks from Peggy and Hove. Thanks for that, Peggy and Hove. Peggy, I intended to go away for quick 5 days. You know, what my fault I ended up flogging hamburgers on the corner of the street at Times Square to make ends meet. Oh, lost alehouse, Malcolm, lost public.
Orders, please.
There's that sound that brings tears to my eyes. Dear Paul, I've just seen the recent release of Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp. I was wondering if director Tim Burton got the look of the Mad Hatter from the late, great Regina Fong, as the Hatters is a perfect match. She'd love to hear that. Many years ago, I was on a train heading up north when a gentleman opposite me asked if I had a good night on Tuesday evening. Well, I desperately tried to recall the previous Tuesday. Not always easy in those days. Really, I don't know what we're talking about. Do you know what an optimist is, Malcolm? Somebody who goes out to a do, drinks 2 bottles of wine, a pint of bitter and a large whiskey, and comes home then and drinks a glass of water to prevent a hangover. That's an optimist. Another optimist is somebody who goes and buys a double cheeseburger, French fries, and asks for a Diet Coke. That's an optimist as well. Yes, don't you think? Anyway, this gentleman, which he most certainly was, introduced himself as Reg. Yes, HRH Regina Fong was on his way to Leeds to see the family. No, he didn't have family in Leeds. His family was from Scotland originally. After this meeting, he always made me and my friends most welcome when we went to the Black Cap Tea Rooms and the Paradise Club in Islington. How I missed that place. About the same time, there was another act that I used that term very loosely, some scraggy scouse bird, or called Nelly Sausage or something like that. I never knew what became of her. Probably working the docks. Reg, rest in peace, Reg. And that's from Alistair in Spalding and Links. Thanks for that, Alistair. Fond memories here of the Fong. Gone but not forgotten. Right. Now it's cold and it's raining. Yeah, well it is down here. Kent this morning, I didn't bother getting the train. I got the arc out. It's murky and it's miserable. It must be a bank holiday weekend. Why did they do it to us? How many people are standing around garden centres now yawning, thinking, where is everyone? So perhaps we're going to play now a high-energy classic from the 1980s, and perhaps this high-energy classic will brighten things up. I still think the term classic is overtly generous, Malcolm, but never mind. Here's the London Boys with Dance, Dance, Dance.
Dancing, my world is a sunny holiday. Blue skies are waving, I'm on my way. I'm all out of love, baby, blue and alone. I need your hot love energy. I dial, baby, pick up the phone and give me hot love energy.
It's a Saturday night, got music on my mind, but then my feet don't want to move. I need you funny dancing by my side to get right in the groove. I'm dancing, my world is a sunny holiday. Blue skies and music are here to stay.
Communication's good and physical. You got a feeling in your shoes. Your body talks, we don't need words at all to get hot in the groove. When we're dancing, this world is a sunny holiday. True blue skies and music are here to stay.
That was Dance, 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 the London Boys. You know what it reminded me of, that? Sounded a bit like Pete Burns, You Keep Me Spinning Round and Round and Round. You know that one? I love Pete Burns. What you see on the telly is not what you get, believe you me, he's a smashing fella. All right, then, we're going to have a trail, Malcolm. Shove an advert on while I run the lav.
Millions of votes for thousands of candidates vying for hundreds of seats. It could be the closest election for a generation. And as the drama of election night unfolds, there is only one place to be to get clarity on the results. Find out who are the winners and who are the losers. Join us for all the excitement on Thursday night on TV, radio, online and mobile. Election night on the BBC, making it clear.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in '63. What a very special time for me. As I remember what
Yankee Valley there in the Four Seasons with December 1963 and Oh What a Night. I just thought it was called Oh What a Night. I didn't know it was called December 1963, Oh What a Night. Mine would have to be June 1979. Oh, what a night. But I'm not going into it on the wireless. And that's from a compilation called The Very Best Of. And their music lives on in the West End musical Jersey Boys, which Malcolm highly recommends. But then he says it does have some language in it. There's a bit of, you know. But Malcolm's idea of, it's not mine. That's, you know, from different side of the alley. OK, after 6, I'm going to be reading your thank you messages. And if you'd like to take part in a future programme, then please get in touch. And don't forget there's a T-shirt and a lovely box of chocolates. No hard censors for those of you with no teeth. For the best email or letter of the week. And you email me, paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to me at BBC Radio 2, London, W1A1AA. Talking about teeth, while I was in the States, I was watching Dancing with the Stars, which is the American version of Strictly Come Ballroom Dancing. What's it called, that programme with Bruce? Strictly Come Dancing, yeah. I have to say the standards are a lot higher on the American version. They're much better dancers. I don't want to offend it. I'm not bothered if I do. But they're much better dancers on that. And the judges actually aren't as vehement or vicious. They've obviously been told to tone it down for American audiences who couldn't take it. But one thing I did notice, they've all got these choppers. Great big gobs full of huge white tombstones. I've never seen anything like it. Do you remember years ago? I do, when I was a kid. All the pensioners, you used to see them shuffling around with no teeth in, go in the shop. It was all gums. And then for a funeral or a wedding, they'd appear with this great huge set of teeth like Mr. Ed that they could hardly get in a gob. Great big white. Because National Health dentures were Hollywood white. That was the fashion. That's what people wanted. They wanted all those manky old nicotine-stained pots ripping out and these lovely teeth putting in. But as a child, you used to think, where's that come from? These great huge, and they'd grin at you and you'd be terrified. You'd hide behind your mother. Think she's going to eat me, this one. But they're like that on Strictly on Dancing with the Stars. Very unnatural, all that. No one of them's got a wrinkle or... You know, I'd love to see them first thing in the morning when they fall out the bed. I bet they look like the rest of us. Like a pile of... Well, you know what I mean, but I bet they do. I hope they do anyway. You can't go around life looking like that. And so you couldn't eat an apple with teeth like that, that's for sure. Because they'd all fly off. Anyway, it's time now for the Northern Soul Triple. They've gone from teeth. Oh, by the way, if you ever go on YouTube and you want to look at something about teeth, there's a lovely one. Go and have a look, and it's called Mum's Teeth. I've written it down. Yeah, Mum's Teeth. That's all it is, and it's a lovely old lady. You should go and have a look. I'm going to tell you, Mum's Teeth. And there's another one called Charlie Bit My Finger, which is wonderful. 2 little boys. It's just fabulous. Go and amuse yourselves. Anyway, here's the Northern Soul Triple, and it was requested last week by Stephen Holmes from Brierley Hill, which is in the Midlands. And these are from old vinyl copies, which I know what that means. It sounds like the Northern Soul Tribute this week is being played while I'm frying chips in a very, very busy chip shop due to the scratches on the vinyl. Anyway, enjoy it. And remember, folks, keep the faith.
Open up your heart.
this week's Northern Soul Triple. We had Meet Me Halfway, Lily Bryant, Tears, Leroy, and the last cab off the rank was Going to a Happening, Tommy Neal. And don't forget, we'll have the Sounds Like Motown Triple after 6 o'clock. And actually, they weren't too scratched. They weren't scratched at all, were they, Malcolm? They were a little bit warped, but then aren't we all? Right, time now for some of your messages. Let's have a look. This is from Joanne, and she says, Dear Paul, like you, I'm a Northerner, and growing up in Widnes in the 70s, I love Northern Soul music. I never went to the Wigan Casino because my mum and dad were very protective and wouldn't allow me to stay out overnight. Have you never heard of a bathroom window? I moved to Brentwood in Essex at the age of 18 to do the psychiatric nurse training. There was a club called the Hermitage, which was called a folk club, but in reality had all sorts of acts on. Did Lily ever perform there? I think she did. I think when she was doing a double act with Julie Felix, she did the folk clubs at the time. I remember a wonderful duo called Clive Gregson and Christine Collister. Clive was a northern lad and wrote a beautiful song about Wigan Casino called Northern Soul, and I think it's on an album called Home and Away. Malcolm's got his spade out because he's going to go and have a dig for us. Could you dedicate today's triple to Janet Spruce and her husband Kev, who still keep the faith? So love the show. I usually listen while making the Sunday roast and doing the ironing. You're not alone there, Joanne. And that's from Joanne O'Neill. Thanks for that, Joanne. Yeah, well, we've played the Northern Soul, so I can't dedicate it to them, but that Northern Soul triple was specially for Janet Spruce and her husband Kev. Better late than never, eh? Dear Paul, love your show. Oh, it's a deceased pet, Malcolm. Get her in with the piano. See, she hasn't livened up over since I've been away. That rash is terrible. Dear Paul, I love your show. Sure, that's not impetigo. If it is, pull that Reynolds over your face. I don't want it. Dear Paul, I love your show. Please will you mention on your dead pet slot my lovely little dog Tanny, who has just died. She was just 7 years old, and she died on April the 14th on the kitchen floor, just 1 hour after playing in the field with her friends. It was so unexpected because she was a perfectly healthy dog. None of us can believe it has happened. Tanny was full of life, a lovely, fun-loving little dog, and she'd be forever loved and never forgotten. Thank you for mentioning Tanny, and that's from Shirley Dunn. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Shirley. Do you know when I was in New York, they have dogs in pet shops over there, which I don't hold with, in the window. But there was one on Lexington Avenue and had a puppy who was the reincarnation of Buster. No, I went in, Malcolm, about 7 times, so in the end they got sick of me in the pet shop and they put a picture of me on the door saying not allowed. But I thought, if I'm here much longer, I'm going to buy this dog. But then they have to sit in quarantine for 6 months, don't we, with these stupid quarantine laws we've got. So he'd have grown up in quarantine and wouldn't know, and I'd have been up and down to Heathrow every week to see me dog, and what was the point? But anyway, there's a dog in a pet shop with my name stamped on his collar. Dear Paul, read your listener's email on April the 11th for information about Ramsbottom, Enoch and me. I can't remember this, Malcolm. I can't remember last Tuesday, let alone April the 11th. Yes, Jim Munro in Leicester. Is that right? He asked me about it. Well, they were a comic trio on the BBC's Light programme. They were in a very popular show called Happy Drome, and it was broadcast during the war until about 1947. A film of the same name was made in 1943 at the Mancunian Studios, later the BBC TV studios in Manchester, and it used to be a converted chapel. Ramsbottom was played by Cecil Frederick, Enoch by Robbie Vincent, and me was Harry Corris. You've got a great programme, Paul, and that's from Mike Cole in Leeds. Thanks for that, Mike. And also thanks to Jez Smith. Did I miss something here, Malcolm? Was this when Jodie was on? Are you sure? It's such a busy life, isn't it? You know, you forget things like your mobile and your keys until you're outside the front door. You can't have to ring them up. Dear Paul, it's my lady friend Kate's birthday today. And isn't that a lovely word, my lady friend? I would really appreciate it if you could play for her a Brooke Benton song called Endlessly, which I last heard when I was stationed in Aden in 1961. We love the show. Many thanks. And that's from William McMahon. I can't say that, Malcolm. Oh, trust you. See what I mean? It's from the other side of the alley, that one. Yes. And that's William McMahon in Gloucester. Thanks for that, William. And especially for Kate is Brooke Benton with Endlessly.
Than the highest mountain, and deeper than the deepest sea. That's how I
softer than the gentle breezes, and stronger than the wild oak tree. That's how I will hold you, oh darling, endlessly. Oh my love, you are my heaven, you are my kingdom, you are my crown. Oh my love, you're all I pray for. You were made for these arms to surround. Faithful as the morning sunrise, and sacred as a love can be. That's how I will love you, oh darling, endlessly, darling, endlessly, darling.
Oh, excuse me, I was just having a good cough there. Just preparing myself for the microphone, and he went and switched it on too early. Thanks for that, Malcolm. That was in between coughs. That was Brooke Benson with Endlessly. Right, and that was from 1959. OK, it's chill out time now, or as Scylla prefers to call it, cooling. Yes, we're going to cool now. So stop everything you're doing. Don't worry if your gravy's burning. Just leave it to sizzle. Yeah, hang up your rubber gloves, switch off the vacuum cleaner, put the toilet brush back in its holder, fold up the ironing board, the ironing board, and relax to the dulcet tones of the one and only Miss Jane MacDonald. And here she is with When You Tell Me That You Love Me.
I wanna call the stars down from the sky. I wanna live a day that never dies. I wanna change the world only for you. All the impossible I wanna do. I wanna hold you close under the rain. I wanna kiss your smile and feel your pain. I know what's beautiful looking at you. In a world of lies, you are the truth. And baby, every time you touch me, I become a hero. I'll make you safe no matter where you are, and bring you everything you ask for. Nothing is above me. I'm shining like a candle in the dark when you tell me that you love me. I wanna make you see just what I was, show you the loneliness and what it does. You walked into my life to stop my tears. Everything's easy now, I have you here. And baby, every time you touch me, I become a hero. I'll make you safe no matter where you are, and bring you everything you ask for. Nothing is above me. I'm shining
Wasn't that lovely, eh? Wasn't it? Made all my hair stand up in the back of my neck. That was Jane MacDonald with When You Tell Me That You Love Me. She's a cracker, Jane MacDonald. Not only does she do loose women, but she'll jump in the back of that van and she'll go off and do a gig up north at the drop of a hat. She's a proper trooper. Jane MacDonald there. Right now, time for some quickies. Are you ready for a quickie? Joni Griffiths from Chandler's Ford. Thank you very much for the joke, Joni, but... oh, no, it's Johnny. Sorry, I've just changed the sex there. Johnny Griffiths from Chandler's Ford. Thanks for the joke, but don't give up the day job. Wayne, Stella wonders if you ever got a text, because if you did, could you please acknowledge it? Thank you, because Wayne, you know, is... well, I'm not going into it. Tim, I hope you enjoyed the Vernon's Girls last Sunday with Jodie. Well, you know what I mean. Jane Cochran from Brighton. I'm sorry to hear about Kitty. Hello to Joel Hicks. Thanks for getting in touch. And no, I could never forget you and Joyce falling into the gravy when I did my Channel 4 show. That's the moments I think of in bed when I close my eyes. Joyce, covered in bistos. Fabulous. Good old... If you're listening, Joyce, I miss you. Who else have I got here? Christine, David Cassidy is on the list. He hates me because I called him Donny Osmond. I did. I introduced him as Donny Osmond. He came out with a face like poison. Hello to Anne Murray. No, not that one with the snowbeard. The other one. This is Anne Murray and her husband, who should be driving and listening as I speak. Nina, thank you very much for the squeaky toys for Bullseye. Can't wait till I'm in bed at 3 o'clock while he's under the bed, squeak, squeak, squeaking away. And finally, for now, Ella in Taunton. Frank loves you very, very much, and he wonders if you'd like an extra one this week. Don't know whether that's a pint of milk or whatever, but it's none of my business. Right now, time for a young lady. She's going to bring us up to the news very nicely. It's Rachel Stevens, and it's a cover of a 70s disco classic called More, More, More. Take it away, Rachel. Much more to come after 6. I'm Paul O'Grady, and this is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Tom Sanders. The snooker world champion John Higgins has rejected match-fixing allegations made by a Sunday newspaper. He's been suspended from the game pending an investigation. Greg Wood reports.
The News of the World says it has evidence that John Higgins was prepared to fix the result of 4 frames in snooker tournaments later this year. The world number one and his agent Pat Mooney were recorded by undercover reporters on secret video in the Ukrainian capital Kiev, discussing a payment of around £250,000. This afternoon, Higgins issued a statement denying the allegations. He said he'd never been involved in any form of match fixing and that his conscience was 100% clear. Pat Mooney said that he and Higgins, who's reported to believe they were dealing with the Russian mafia, had agreed to say anything to get out of a scary situation. John Higgins has been suspended from all tournaments by the World Snooker governing body while it investigates the allegations.
The Ministry of Defence says a British soldier has been killed in Afghanistan. The soldier from 1st Battalion, the Mercian Regiment, died in an explosion in Sangin. His family's been told. President Obama is on his way to Louisiana to inspect the attempts to prevent a giant oil slick reaching land. Satellite images show it growing faster than anticipated and has more than tripled in size in a matter of days. Choppy seas and strong winds have hampered efforts to contain the spill in the Gulf of Mexico. It was caused by an explosion on a BP-operated rig 10 days ago. Andy Gallagher reports from Louisiana.
During his short visit to Louisiana, President Obama will receive a full briefing from the teams on the ground here, and it's expected he'll make a short statement. So far, crews have had little success in containing the slick. Strong winds are now hampering efforts, and key to their success is stopping the oil at its source. This isn't yet an environmental catastrophe, but all the elements are in place. Rapid response teams are now standing by if the booms, the coastline's last line of defence, fail.
Trades unions in Greece have said they'll intensify protests against austerity measures which the government has agreed with the EU and the IMF in exchange for an emergency loan. The rescue package is thought to be worth as much as £100 billion and is intended to stop Greece defaulting on its debts. The US government has said it's treating a car bomb that failed to detonate in New York as a potential terrorist attack. The device was found in Times Square last night when a street vendor noticed smoke coming from a parked 4x4. The area, which includes many of New York's theatres, was evacuated. Football and the fight for the Premier League title will continue up to the last match of the season after contenders Chelsea and Manchester United won this afternoon. Chelsea beat Liverpool 2-0, while Man United won 1-0 away at Sunderland. In the Championship, Blackpool secured the last of the playoff places, while Sheffield Wednesday were relegated after a 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace. And the weather. Rain will clear from the far southeast of England, leaving a night of clear spells and some scattered showers. And we'll see some showers as well across Wales, eastern Scotland and eastern coast. It'll be a bit of a cold night with some frost in places. BBC News at 3 minutes past 6, our next at 7.
BBC Radio 2.
And an update on the latest on the roads. Here's Bobby.
Tom, thank you. First of all, to the M6 on the southbound side. Getting reports of a caravan that's overturned between junctions 38, which is T-Bay, and 37 for Kendal. The matrix sign is set to 20 miles per hour, so there are problems. But at the moment, I do not know how many lanes are blocked. But if you're heading down there, you're going to find some queues. Further down on the M6, also heading south between junctions 23 and 22, and the roadworks extremely slow at the moment. Good news for the A44, though, in Bromyard. It's now all reopened following that earlier accident. To Kent, though, the A20 in Aylesford, the London road remains shut following that fire at the Aylesford Retail Park yesterday, and also the M27 eastbound. Good news, partially blocked. There was a jackknife caravan before junction 2, and that has now cleared. Thank you for all your updates. I'll be back for you now just after 7.
Online, on digital, and on 88 and 91 FM. On BBC Radio 2.
Thanks there for the news and travel. Well, I'm Paul O'Grady, and welcome back to my second hour.
Everything's alright. Nighttime is the right time. We make love.
that's Malcolm's favourite there. Sheena Easton with 9 to 5, and it's going out especially for Paul in Manchester and Ed in Bourneville. Welcome back, folks. I'm Paul O'Grady, and I'm with you today live on BBC Radio 2, 81 to 91 FM. Say that in my sleep. Still to come this week, we've got Sounds Like a Motown Triple. It's actually a Motown Triple. Take no notice of all this sounds like nonsense. We've got your requests, and we've got your thank yous. But first, it's a little song here now for anybody out there with bad habits.
Can't help myself. Bad habits. Well, I'm running wild. Lost control. And it's a shame to see that a boy like me has got so many bad habits. Well, I'm off the rails. My resistance fails. Temptation's got a hold on me, and I can't refuse because I always lose. I can't help myself. Bad habits. Well, it just ain't right, but it's something I can't fight. I can't stop going out and having fun. Well, I tried to be good, but I knew I never could. 'Cause I've got more bad habits than anyone. When I get the urge, I just got to splurge. I'm a slave to all my desires. Well, I'm in a mess because I can't repress all of these bad habits. Can't help myself. Bad habits. Well, I'm running wild. Lost control. And it's a shame to see that a boy like me has got so many bad habits. Well, it just ain't right, but it's something I can't fight. I can't stop going out and having fun. Well, I tried to be good, but I knew I never could. 'Cause I've got more bad habits than anyone. When I get the urge, I just got to splurge. I'm a slave to all my desires. Well, I'm in a mess, 'cause I can't repress all of these bad habits. All of these bad habits. All of these bad habits.
Mr. Billy Field there with Bad Habits, and that was recorded in 1981, and the clever chap wrote it as well. There you go. Elsie surfaced. All right, Elsie. It's now just gone 6:10, right, on a Sunday afternoon. You've been in bed all day. What's the excuse? You're a liar. You were not in Edinburgh up Carlton Hill dancing around flames. You know you weren't. You dreamt it. OK, that's all right. And who's this gentleman mouse yawning outside your mouse hole? Bernie. Who's he? Where did you meet him? OK, all right then. Well, go and take your roller out. She has one little roller at the end of her whisker. The other whiskers have gone. She's had it. Yeah, and just look at her. She's had a bit of a rough night. She's shuffling off now in a little chiffon kimono. Back into her mouse hole to prepare herself for the nightly challenge. Right, time now for your emails. Please keep them coming in. It's Paul O'Grady at bbc.co.uk. Dear Paul, on Easter Sunday you said you didn't know why warfarin had to be taken at 6 p.m. Did I, Malcolm? It's all a blur to me, you know. It seems so long ago. This is because that is the time the medicine trolley usually comes round the ward when you're in hospital. It doesn't really matter what time you take it, as long as you take it at the same time every day. Well, I never knew that. I've been on warfarin for about 10 years, and because I work nights, I always take mine at 8 a.m. before I have my breakfast. I think you're doing a wonderful job making people aware of the importance of taking their warfarin. I love your show. Keep up the good work. Love to you and all your animals. And that's from Julie Peace. Thanks for that, Julie. I'm glad to know I can be of a service, Malcolm. And by the way, have you taken your warfarin, you showered? It's 6:10. Come on, we don't want that blood getting thick. Right, we've got a new slot here now. It's called Lost Flicks, alias Lost Cinemas, but we haven't got a jingle, have we, Malcolm? Have we? I knew we found some. This depresses me, this music. Thank you. Just as it's getting dark. Get your hands off me, sweets. Right. On your show on April the 11th, I don't remember that either, you asked about cinemas. That was a bad day, that day. From memory, I am now 65 and I left Bebington when I was 18. So there was the Isolde, which was actually a beautiful Art Deco building called the Ritz, and I remember that well. They pulled that down. That's disgraceful. Honestly, it was an Art Deco palace. It was stunning. One of those old picture houses that you went in and went, woo, you really thought you were going for a nice house. Then they turned it into a bingo hall. Then they built a flyover which blocked it, and then they ripped it down. Well done. I suppose there's a car park there in the place, is it? And the one opposite that was the Gormonts. I remember that. I remember it as called the Classic, because my mate used to be the projectionist, and on a Sunday night he used to take us in and show us all Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at 2 o'clock in the morning. There was also the Plaza by the Technical College, which I used to work in when it was a bingo hall, and Tranmere's ground just along Borough Road from where Woodchurch Road joined it. Our Saturday morning favourite for the Lone Ranger was the Rialto in Bebington, just past the railway bridge by the Chippy. The good one, that is. There was also one beyond the entrance to the Oval, but I can't remember its name, and there was a flea pit in Chagger Road, opposite the old Birkenhead Corporation bus station. I could ramble on for hours. My dad was secretary of John Summers Club when I was a kid, so I met all the greats. Ted Ray, Arthur Askey, Ken Dodd and Max Wall. So many memories. Great, isn't it? And that's from Pete Woodall. Thanks for that, Pete. It's upset me about the Isolde. Bringing that back. Paul, you mentioned workhouses a few weeks back, did I? Actually, I do recall mentioning the workhouse. Anyway, this is Layla, or Lila, L-E-I-L-A, Layla, like Layla Morse in EastEnders. He's always going on about Fat Elvis, who we never seen. I'm desperate to see Fat Elvis. He's a fence, apparently. I don't mean he goes out with a sword, you know, he sells stuff. Anyway, we live in an old workhouse in mid-Wales in Llanfillan, which is the Llanfillan Workhouse, which was built in 1834, and as a charitable trust, we are trying to turn it into a community centre at the moment. So you see, Paul, people still live in workhouses, aye, and some of us still work in them as well. There's bars on the window in here. Lukewarm tea. Dear Paul, we're all big fans of yours at work. Where'd you work? I have memories of going to the wash house in Liverpool with my mum, and I always found it quite exciting. Vera says that as well. She always found a trip to the wash house exciting. On the other side of the building was the folks taking their weekly bath, and it was in Wavertree. People didn't have bathrooms then, Malcolm. They used to be, you know, you go and have a bath in a place. They'd fill a bath full of scalding hot water, and you had 10 minutes to get a swill in it. Anyway, can you give a loud shout to my hard-working husband? He's in our yard trying to fix his car. Please tell him all his girls love him, poor guy. He's got no males to back him up, but we love him. I'm assuming that you've got a lot of daughters in the house and new male siblings. Thanks, Paul, and that's from Christina Taylor. Well, Christina, I'd love to say hello to your old man who's out in the backyard fixing his car, but you haven't given me his name. Anyway, hello, fella. Hope you're doing well. Right, please keep them coming in. It's the cocktail hour now, so we're going to have another cooling session. Are we ready? And this week we're having something utterly disgusting called a white lily. I can't even read this out without dry retching. You take a shot of white rum, another of the orange-flavoured triple sec, and one more of gin. Oh, please. 2 dashes of anisette and mix them in a shaker. Finally strain into a chilled cocktail glass and you have a white lily. It's also known in certain hospitals as an anaesthetic. And remember, always drink responsibly. Here we go. So chill out, folks, to Henry Mancini with The Brothers Go to Mothers. I don't know what kind of dance you do to that. Sort of flail your arms around, really, and grin. And that was originally written for the NBC TV series Peter Gunn, which was... which I'd rather have heard, actually, Malcolm, than The Brothers Go to Mothers, to tell you the truth. Don't look so forlorn. Anyway, that's from a new CD which features 24 pieces of Mancini music written for that show, and it's available now on the Hot Record Society label. Hold me back, I'm going to rush out and get it with the record token I got for Christmas. Rightio, time now for some of your emails. Are you ready? The Motown Triple is on the way, but first I'm just going to do these few messages. Dear Paul, many years ago I found myself in a South London pub. What do you mean you found yourself? You didn't actually, wake up in a boozer in South London. You got up. You got washed, showered, dressed, combed your hair, ironed your jeans wet so they were dry when you went out, and you went to a public house. You didn't find yourself in a public house, really. The turn singing My Heart Belongs to Daddy was HRH Regina Fox. She's getting a lot of mentions today, isn't she? Could you play it sometime? Best wishes, and that's from Chris Sandland from Brighton. Chris, it's on the list, and it was, that's another one of David Rose's great themes. It was Ginger Rogers, wasn't it? Or was it? They'll all be emailing in now saying, no, it wasn't. It was Alice Faye. And let me think. It'll come to me who sang My Heart Belongs to Daddy. And I better explain, HRH Regina, she wasn't really a member of, well, she wasn't a member of our royal family. She was a member of the Russian royal family. She was the last of the Romanovs. I'm not bothering. Dear Paul, welcome back. Do you... Oh, it's a lost shop, Malcolm. Dear Paul, welcome back. Do you or your other listener remember the UCP chain of shops? They sold cooked meats and they also had restaurants like Days of Elton in Bury in Lancashire. Does anybody else remember this? And that's from Bob Johnson. Now, Malcolm thinks, if he casts his mind back, that there was a UCP in Piccadilly, Manchester. Would that be by the bus station? Yeah. And it sold meat pies? Yeah. I think I vaguely remember it when I was a child star. Vaguely standing outside with me cap on the pavement, blowing me harmonica for a meat pie, which was flung at me with great force. Dear Paul, listening to your show on Sunday 2 weeks ago, you referred to the Pink Parrot Club. I can't remember that either. I must have been... What happened to me the other Sunday? It was on Duke Street, and my late father, Trevor Walters, was the manager. I remember the Pink Parrot Club. I don't remember mentioning it, but I remember it. I wonder if you remember my dad. Punters used to call him Mr. Trevor, and that's from Lorraine Nee Walters. I don't, but I know a lady who will. Certain Miss Black, when I ring her up later and ask her. Another lost shop, Malcolm. Get your till out, kid. There you go. Thank you. Dear Paul, do you remember a shop called Sayers Bakeries? Do I remember it? I used to live in them. As a young lad, just a couple of years ago, my mum used to send me up to get a princess cake for Saturday tea. It was a sponge cake with pink icing and hundreds and thousands on top. Inside was proper strawberry jam and thick fresh cream. I'm slathering here. Sayers was a great bakers because they used to cook everything on site. So in the middle of winter, everyone would go in because it was the hottest place in the road. And that's from David Thompson. Thanks for that, David. I can smell the pasties now. And the sausage rolls. And now they all start barking about cholesterol levels and fat and I'm not bothered, they were lovely. So if you go out and have a pasty for your tea, never mind a roast. Right, time now for our Sounds Like Motown. I'm just going to have a look to see who it is. So the Supremes, the Temptations and Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, I would say, although I'm not an authority, I would definitely say we're Motown. So if anybody emails you, Malcolm, and said, they're not Motown, give me their address and I'll be round tonight. Because I've got Madam to deal with, don't forget. So, 2 train journeys won't harm me. Right, so get back, folks. Sit back and enjoy this. It's 3 songs in a row from stars who were big Motown stars. Enjoy one and all.
Feather in your cap if you catch a robber. Dirt in your face if your scheme falls through. Pay close attention to my story. You'll find every word is true. Junk man standing on the corner, selling deaf, no conscience has he. In the name of God, won't somebody stop me? Stop me, think about the children. It's a matter of life and death. Ain't no time to stand back and point your finger. No time to point your finger. We've got to face reality. No, 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 no. Don't turn your back on this problem, people. Too much depends on you and me. Desperate with no sense of values. Just an evil mind looking through the night. Because of you, the streets ain't safe no more for walking. Walking because of you. Cause you're feeling so uptight. Take a look around. Are you afraid? Take a look around. It's tearing the young generation down. Take a look around. Are you afraid? Take a look around. Well, it's up to you and me.
week's Motown Triple, we had Automatically Sunshine, the Supremes, Take a Look Around, the Temptations, and Bless You, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. And as always, all the details of that and all the music that I'm playing today might be available on my show page after 7 o'clock. So you just stop by bbc.co.uk/Radio 2. OK, time now for some more of your messages. Dear Paul, many thanks for your show. It's a lovely touch of British eccentricity. Is it? It's news to me. My artist husband Ian and I are both expat northerners currently living in southwest Victoria in Australia. This is a stunning part of the world at the end of the Great Ocean Road. I believe you are an ex-social worker, welfare worker. Actually, I was a peripatetic care officer, which the programme's too short for me to go into, but yeah, similar. Anyway, that's my occupation, this Jill says. I'm currently teaching in aged care and community service. We are ex-city people living on a few acres with copious amounts of animals. We have 7 cashmere goats. The 5 girls are all pregnant. Oh, you poor thing. I too kept chickens and ducks and had names for them all, such as Edna, Doris and Gladys. We were devastated when the fox got them all. That was 2 years ago, and we've not been able to replace them yet. Do you know a fox got one of my ducks? I don't know when, but I used to have 5. I've only got 4 now. So it was recently. I ate it when that happens. But what can you do? I mean, you know, it's their instinct, isn't it? And if there's a duck sitting there, you think, well, where's the dinner? Anyway, that's nature for you. Cruel, cruel. Could you please do me a favour, Paul? My mum lives in Harrogate and she's 82 and she's a big fan of yours. Will you please say hello to her? And to my sister Andrea, who looks after Mum, and my cousin Francis. Many thanks and warm wishes from this side of the globe. And that's from Jill and Ian Carter Payton. Well, Jill and Ian, you never said what your mum's name was, but she lives in Harrogate and she's 82. And it's just a lady called Andrea looks after her with her cousin Francis. So there you go, love. Nice to see you, and that's nice to hear from Australia. Hang on a minute, I've got 2 emails stuck together here. I wish you wouldn't eat chewy, Malcolm. Paul, it's so lovely to have you back with us. Jodie did a grand job. She obviously listens to your programme like me, so that means your listening figures might even be in the double digits by now. Well done. I think there's about 9 of you listen now. I was walking up the high street the other day, and I saw you. And it looked like you. The old Mac and the carrier bags were a bit of a giveaway, really. I almost came up to you to ask for your autograph, but that old gentleman whiff put me off. I'm going to stand in the corner and sulk. Anyway, if it wasn't you, you have a doppelganger here in Surbiton. Love to the animals and Malcolm from Anne. What's it called? Surbiton? It's Surbiton. What did I say? Surbiton. Well, when you're reading these great epistles out, you know, we're all blazing to one. Surbiton. Where's Surbiton, then? Is that the place in Middle England that nobody got? Oh, really? Oh, Surbiton. I fancy that. All these years, all these 28 years of my life, I've been calling it Surbiton. Anyway, there you go. That's Anne in Surbiton. Hiya, Paul. I think it sounds better, Surbiton, than Surbiton. Hiya, Paul. Just a quick line to say how much I love listening to your show on a Sunday evening, but TV is not the same without your chaotic ramblings and confused guests. I've got to get new teeth. What are you talking about, chaotic ramblings and confused guests? That was a skillfully rehearsed show, all 10 minutes of it. Play whatever you like and I'll enjoy it. Me dog hasn't died and neither of any relatives that I know of. Well, that's good news, isn't it? Keep up the good work, and if you're ever in Blackpool, call in for a drink. And that's from Julia and Colin. There's a few places in Blackpool, actually, I could call in for a drink. Oh, we've got a dead pet. Send it in, misery guts. Talking about the old man smell. Can't compete with the old woman smell. Wafting off air. Ooh, smell of old Mac and dog. You know what I mean? Damp Guinness. Anyway, dear Paul, please could you say goodbye to our rescue guinea pig, Poppy, affectionately nicknamed Ratty. We rescued Poppy when she was around 2 years old, when her guinea pig friend died, and she lived with us and her new friends for 3 more years. We are very sad at the sudden departure of Poppy, but we hope she is in guinea pig heaven, happily munching on her favourite food, broccoli. Thank you for all your kind thoughts with all the animals, and I love your show, and that's from Holly Walsh. Thanks for that, Holly. And I'm sorry about your squeaker. Gone off there to squeaker heaven eating broccoli. Yeah, oh, talking about squeak. Where are you going? Oh, she's going out for a bevy. Oh, are you? With Bernie? Oh, right, OK. That was a quick wash you had, Elsie, wasn't it? Quick swill with the flannel. OK. I'm worried. I've been away 2 weeks, Malcolm. She's gone the dogs again. Just got her on the straight and narrow. She's off to the alehouse. She hasn't even bothered to lie to say she's going to late mass. No, straight off to the alehouse. Go on then, Elsie. And you, Bernie. Lovely to meet you. Mind your tail in the door. OK, ta-ra. No. Right, now, it was a friend of mine's birthday and I forgot. I forget my own birthday, Malcolm. But that's by choice, because I think when you get to a certain age, you want to celebrate birthdays. Anyway, this is going out especially for Peter in Soho, and it's something really I'd like to be, but I can't. With Eartha in Skegness, she nicked me makeup. She did. She was in the dressing room next to me and I came in and the makeup box had gone. I had security in the lot. The next thing, our dresser just sort of idly strolled in with the makeup box and said, "Here you are." So, "What are you doing with my slap?" I said, "Well, Miss Kit didn't have any makeup." So she won't. I was mortified because my makeup box, when you opened it, it had a public health warning on it. It was, well, if you clean your makeup box, it means you're not working. It's a superstition. It was rotten, full of greasy cosmetics. So God knows what Miss Kit thought, but she was welcome to it anyway. The late great Eartha Kit. Next, the requests for this group, well, they just keep on coming thick and fast. And so this is from the new album. It's called Strike. Here's the Baseballs, and it's their version of the Scissor Sisters hit, I Don't Feel Like Dancing.
I don't feel like dancing when the old Joanna plays. My heart could take a chance, but my 2 feet can't find a way. You think that I could muster up a little soft to gentle sway, but I don't feel like dancing, no sir, no dancing today. Wake up in the morning, well, go ahead with what you done. This used to be a life, but I don't need no other one. Oh, you like cutting up and carry on, well, girls. So how can I feel so lonely when you're up, got him down? So I'll play along when I hear that special song. I'm gonna be the one who gets it right. You better move when you're swaying around the room. Looks like magic's only us tonight. I don't feel like dancing when the old Joanna plays. My heart could take a chance, but my 2 feet can't find a way. You think I could muster up a little soft to gentle sway, but I don't feel like dancing, no sir, no dancing today. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, even if I found nothing better to do. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, watch you break it down when I'm in the mood. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, I'd rather be home with the one in the battleground with you. Cities come and cities go, just like the old empires, when all you do is change your clothes and call them versatile. You've got so many colors to make a blind man so confused. Then why can't I keep up when you're the only thing that I lose? So I'll just pretend that I know which way to bend. I'm gonna tell the whole world that you're mine. Just please understand when I see you clap your hands. If I take around, I'm sure that I'll be fine. I don't feel like dancing when the old Joanna plays. My heart could take a chance, but my 2 feet can't find a way. You think I could muster up a little soft to gentle sway, but I don't feel like dancing, no sir, no dancing today. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, even if I found nothing better to do. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, watch you break it down when I'm in the mood. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, I'd rather be home with the one in the battleground with you. I'd rather be home with the one in the battleground with you. You can make me dance around, but your 2-step makes my chest pound. Just lay me down as you float away into the shimmering light. But I don't feel like dancing when the old Joanna plays. My heart could take a chance, but my 2 feet can't find a way. You think I could muster up a little soft to gentle sway, but I don't feel like dancing, no sir, no dancing today. I don't feel like dancing, dancing, even if I found nothing better to do. I don't
don't feel like dancing, and that was the Baseballs, and that's going out especially for Milo and Otis, who I know at this very minute are throwing themselves around the kitchen like two little madmen. And their mummy, Amanda. Give us a ring, Mealing. I'm still alive. Thank you very much. Right. Time now for, it's the thank yous. Oh, we've got hundreds of them. Oh, this piano music. We're going to have to liven this up, Malcolm. Radio. Now, this is the part of the show where we invite you to say something, to say thank you to someone, you know. Could be somebody who's done something extra special for you. We're not just talking about your old man or your missus or your mum and your dad. It could be a teacher, a work colleague or a pal. Whoever it is, we'd like to know. And there's a certificate of thanks signed by me if your message is read out on the show. And there's a box of chocolates and a limited edition T-shirt for the very best letter or email of the week. And if you don't like the T-shirt, you can use it as a duster. So, if you'd like to take part, you can either email me, paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or write to me at BBC Radio 2 London W1A1AA. Right, first cab off the rank is Andrea. Paul, please thank the cast and crew of The Bill, past and present. They've provided quality drama and entertainment week in, week out for nearly 27 years for all of their fans here in the UK and in Australia. Without hardly any publicity, they have helped out many charities and individuals, and they have gone further than most TV programmes with their acts of kindness. The Bill has also helped many young actors and actresses starting out, some of whom have gone on to shine for Britain on the world stage, including Keira Knightley, James McAvoy, and yourself, Paul. It was many years ago. Please thank them for everything they have done for us, and that's from Andrea. Well, Andrea, an official thank you is on its way to Sunhill Police Station, and I quite agree with you. It's a shame it's going. They should never have moved it. I think moving it was a big mistake. It was great when it was on twice a week and had millions of fans, so I don't know why it's gone. Anyway, who am I to question? This one now is from Carol Glenn in Hampshire. Paul, I'd like you to say thank you to my lovely sister, Lynn Lefebvre. Is that right, Malcolm? It's a fabulous name, isn't it? Lynn Lefebvre. Our dad has had a massive heart attack whilst watching the Portsmouth versus Chelsea game a couple of weeks ago and died a few days later. Lord, I'm sorry to hear about that. Lynn has helped Mum with all arrangements and has been a tower of strength to her. Lynn is a very special person, and I would love you to mention it and send her a big thank you. We love your show and look forward to seeing you at the Mayflower later in the year. And that's from Carol. Carol, of course I'll thank Lynn for you. And I'm really sorry to hear about your dad, and I hope you, Lynn, and your mum are doing well. This one now is from Caroline in Kent. Paul, I'd like you to say thank you to the Sussex Ambulance Service, especially Scott and Rachel, and the staff at A&E Royal Sussex County Hospital, plus an off-duty police officer, sorry I didn't get her name, who helped on the pier. My mother, Pat Druitt, tripped and broke her arm on the pier at Brighton. Scott and Rachel and all the staff at the A&E were brilliant. I really admire their commitment. Their support and care made a tricky situation far better. Do thank them for me. And that's from Caroline Druitt. Consider it done, Caroline, and an official thank you is on its way to Scott and Rachel, and I'm going to be sending another one to the staff at the A&E department at the Royal Sussex County Hospital. And hope your mum's getting better. No more knitting for a while, yeah. Oh, letter of the week, Malcolm. Here we go. Paul, please say thank you to Jill Wilson. My name is Emma, and I am writing on behalf of the Happy Flowers Gardening Group in East Dulwich. Now, they sound a jolly lot, don't they? The Happy Flowers Gardening Group. The Happy Flowers is a group of adults with learning disabilities who come every Monday to the Centre for Wildlife Gardening to do gardening and learn more about nature. Every Monday for the past 3 years, whether it's freezing or hot in the garden, Jill has volunteered her patience, kindness and friendship to the group so they can get outside and be active for the day and, above all, enjoy themselves. All the Happy Flowers really appreciate Jill's regular support because she is there with a smile and an unflappable, caring nature that inspires trust and friendship in the group. Without her, the Happy Flowers wouldn't be so happy and Mondays wouldn't be so much fun. So, on behalf of the group, thanks a million, Jill, and see you in the garden. Emma, a box of chocolates is on its way to the wonderful Jill Wilson, and a T-shirt will be with you soon. And if you wear it while you're gardening, it might scare off the birds down at the Happy Flowers Gardening Group in East Dulwich. And remember, let me know if there's someone or somewhere out there that you'd like to say thank you to. The email address is paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to me at BBC Radio 2 London W1A1AA. Let's have a deco at the clock. Oh, that's just gone 10 to. So I think it's time for a bit of bump and grind. Well, in case you're getting ready and you're getting changed, you might want a bit of music to shed your clothing to. I am going to disrobe fully And it's unfortunate for you lot because the webcam's bust. Anyway, here's Mr. David Rose with What I Did, I Do. Oh, I was enjoying that. Well, you'll be pleased to hear I'm down to my vest and drawers. Just as well the music stopped. Malcolm stopped it and he's thrown a blanket over me. That was David Rose with What I Did, I Do. Bit of burlesque there for you folks. Do you know what gets on my nerves if I can have a little moan before I go home? There's a talent show on the telly and they feature ladies who say they are burlesque artists. They're not. They really aren't. And they get the true burlesque girls a bad name. And that's all I'm saying, because a lot of work goes into that, a lot of preparation with costume, and wearing a tatty old pair of brassiers with a bit of sequin stitched onto them and blowing flames is not a burlesque stripper. Take it from me. Right, I've said me piece. Time now for some of your messages. Dear Paul, I'm looking for the name of a song you played recently. A female vocalist. I think I'm going to need a bit more. Seems like you may have called it Sympathique. I can tell you right off who it is now. It's Pink Martini, and that's the name of the album. There's a few albums. There's Hang On Little Tomato, and then there's that one. Strange name, isn't it? Hang On Little Tomato. Dear Paul, I just wonder if you could say hello to my dad, Frank Smith. He loves your show as I do. Dad has been extremely strong and brave for the last 12 months, and I'm so proud of him. The only thing is, though, you'll have to shout as he is deaf, although I sometimes wonder if he has selective hearing. Love your show, Paul, and that's from Alex Smith. You're very welcome. Can you hear me, Frank? Nice to hear from you. OK, take it easy. Right, time now for some quick ones. Are we ready? Hello to Casey Price. No, not that one, the other one. And I hope you had a great Pride at Brighton University. I was stuck in the States, but thank you very much for the invite, Casey. Tina Cantrell, as promised, David Whitfield is on the list. Dermot in Reading, yes, I am doing a second one, and it should be ready for Christmas. I don't know what that is. The book. Julie Raymond loves you so much, but he's taking you to the Lake District next weekend. I'll read that again, because that sounds like an insult. Julie loves you so much, but... Why but? Julie loves you... Julie... Oh, God, I'm getting out of here. Julie Raymond loves you so much, she's taking you to the Lake District next weekend. I hope it's not a surprise, but make sure you tune into the show in the car on the way home, please. I don't know why. Something's going to happen. Your guess is as good as mine. Megan, thanks for the photos of Dick. He's a stunner, isn't he? But I'm not too sure about the bow in his ear. You know, people might talk. Andrew and Marion Shepherd, sincere apologies for overlooking your 34th wedding anniversary. I hope you have a lovely day. Or had a great day. And finally, for now, Graham Cousins in Hampshire. Thanks for the Northern Soul requests. And your triple is on the list and will be played very soon. OK, it's 5 to 7. It's the last one today. Is that right, Malcolm? This is a long one, 5-minute one, isn't it? 4 minutes, OK then. And this is going out especially for Sheila, who asked me for this a couple of weeks back. And it's Peter Shelley with a song called Love Me, Love My Dog, and I couldn't agree more.
now, love me, love my dog. We've lived the road too long to break up. Love me, live my life, and travel through this land. I won't leave a friend, I promised that before we started. So love me, love my dog. If you can understand, then we'll head up land.
And that was Peter Shelley there with Love Me, Love My Dog. We've had to fade it because, well, the time has come, as Andy Pandy and Teddy and Luby Lou said, to get in your basket and time to go home. All right, but thanks for listening, folks. Please keep your emails, letters and thank yous coming in. The email address is paulogrady@bbc.co.uk or by post, Paul O'Grady, BBC Radio 2, London, W1A, 1AA. And don't forget, we're nothing without your emails and letters, and we really appreciate them, so keep them coming. I hope you've enjoyed the music this afternoon, and if you're not working tomorrow, enjoy your rainy bank holiday, because that's what they prophesied, isn't it? I always say prophesied, because there's a gang of witches in that Met Office. Probably get it wrong. My seaweed was rock hard outside the door when I came out this morning, even though it was raining. It's far more reliable than the barometer. A big thank you to the team and to my producer, Mr. Malcolm Woods. Thank you all. Thank you very much. And thank you to for your company. I shall speak to you next Sunday, God willing. I'm Paul O'Grady. This is BBC Radio 2. I'm online, folks. Yes, I am. I'm on digital. And guess what? I'm on 81, 88 to 91 FM. See you soon. Take it easy.
BBC News at 7 o'clock. This is Tom Sanders. Eurozone finance ministers have approved a loan package for Greece worth more than £95 billion over 3 years. Nearly 70 billion will come from Europe. The rest will be lent by the International Monetary Fund. The European Commission President José Manuel Barroso conceded that Greece had to pay a tough price for the help, but he welcomed the deal.
Greece has approved a very solid and credible package. I just now spoke on the phone with Prime Minister Papandreou to pay tribute to his courage and determination. There are difficult choices, but we believe it's the only way to assure the stability of the Greek economy and the prosperity of Greece.
The world #1 snooker player John Higgins has denied ever being involved in match fixing, following allegations in the News of the World that he was willing to lose frames in future matches in return for money. Snooker's governing body has suspended Mr Higgins while it investigates the claims. There's no suggestion that he's ever thrown frames or matches for money in the past. Mr Higgins' manager, Pat Mooney, says they felt intimidated